And the fact that Israel won't allow it is sticking in my gullet. And when it's pretended to be out of some quaint concern for my personal safety, I'm afraid it's laughable. And my question is this: if Israel has nothing to hide, why are they not letting international journalists go in? Tell me. Why don't they let them all in so that what you're telling us can actually be independently verified?
You should be cheering, Pierce. Everyone on this
I don't cheer an 11-week blockade of food to an impoverished people.
Should destroy Hamas and should be able to bring the food to the people who need it. But instead, what you are doing and what Cenk is doing is you are perpetuating the rule of Hamas.
You know why I yell on this program?
You're an
Because guys
anti-Semite
like
at your
this do
core.
nonstop
You care
propaganda,
nothing else about
and they
the
won't
Muslim
stop
world. You don't
talking.
care about
They
women's
talk
rights.
over everyone
You call
else.
blacks
If you're
by
going to
the
talk over
N-word.
everyone
You
else,
support
I'm going to
David
talk
Duke.
over you.
You've never been on the
starved
ground, and
more
all you
people
do is
than
spend every day
anyone else
attacking
in the
Israel.
world. Israel has killed more journalists than anyone else in the world. You're not going to talk over me.
Wait, hold up. Did Piers Morgan just grow a conscience on his own show, Piers Morgan Uncensored? After nearly 2 years of tap dancing around the word genocide, the man who once couldn't even find Gaza on a map is now throwing verbal Molotovs at Israel's spin machine. And I'm here for it. In this explosive showdown, Piers and Cenk Uygur go full throttle on Doron Spielman, an IDF mouthpiece who accidentally lets the truth slip like a wet bar of propaganda soap. This isn't your average polite panel discussion. This is a verbal warfare, truth bombs, and media redemption rolled into one. If you've been craving accountability, buckle up, because even Piers Morgan finally snapped out of his media matrix. You don't want to miss this one, trust me. Let's dive in.
And where have we got? We've got to a place where Hamas clearly still are there. They're clearly still holding these hostages, and Israel can't get them to release them. Which suggests to me that Hamas's power base is still pretty much intact, or that process would have happened by now. And I don't see any end game or plan here, other than increasingly it seems that there are people on that government who just want to get rid of all the Palestinians, who want to just take over Gaza, and that will be it. And that is actually the very genocide that so many on the pro-Israeli side keep recoiling at hearing that word, because they say it's not genocide. Well, if you get rid of a whole people based on their ethnicity from an expansive land that is theirs, where they've been living, what else do you call it? So I got angry, and then everyone got angry at me, because everyone gets angry about everything you ever say about this war. But from where you sit, are you comfortable? Are you comfortable as an IDF reservist with what is now going on, with hundreds being killed every day, so many women, so many children in particular? Are you comfortable that there is a strategy here that is either working or is not just turning Israel slowly but surely into a global pariah?
Pierce, I don't think that anyone in Israel has been comfortable since October 7th. You're asking me what is a proportional response to 1,200 people being slaughtered, raped, babies being burnt, 250 people which have been taken captive as hostages, 57 of which are still in the Gaza tunnels. I'll tell you, I think that the word is a smokescreen. Hamas went after civilians, and you're asking me what's a proportional response? Israel's response has been never to go after a civilian, only to go after Hamas terrorists. Now, I've been in Gaza. I've been in Gaza 4 different times.
They killed tens of
since
thousands
October
of
7th.
civilians.
And when you're in Gaza,
yeah, but Doron, they killed tens of thousands
and you're
of
on
civilians.
the ground in Gaza, what you see, just 1 second, what you see when you're on Gaza is you're being fired on from parks, from schools, from apartment buildings. Hamas fighters are popping out of ground every Hamas tunnel. I don't know if you've been on Gaza, Pierce.
No, you know why I haven't been in Gaza?
Doron,
hang on. You ask a question.
You can go into Gaza, Pierce. There's been over 1 million people that have entered Gaza to visit Gaza.
But here's the key point, Doron. International journalists have not been allowed into Gaza to independently verify any of this. That's been another massive problem I've had with this. If Israel has nothing to hide, they should let
Pierce,
all the...
have you ever been in Gaza?
Hang on, let me finish.
Pierce.
Hang on. Let me finish my question. Let me finish my question.
Have you actually, you had 20 years to go to Gaza.
Let me finish my question, please.
What happened on October 7th that all of a sudden you want to walk
Doron,
into a war zone?
I'm going to finish my question,
Israel...
whether you let me or not, okay? And my question is this. If Israel has nothing to hide, why are they not letting international journalists go in? Tell me. Why don't they let them all in so that what you're telling us can actually be independently verified?
Pierce, Israel is trying to deal with a terrorist regime that is popping out of tunnels, popping out of buildings, is everywhere. And you want us to unleash a flood of reporters into the area when a Hamas reporter was killed because he was Hamas, the entire world media blamed Israel for killing a reporter, and he was a member of Hamas, a verified member of Hamas that filmed himself as part of October 7th. So you want us to unleash
You're
1,000
not banning
reporters?
the international
No. What has
media
to
out of
happen right now,
concerns for their
Pierce,
safety.
one second, Pierce.
Don't
One
insult
second.
my
You said a lot of
intelligence,
different
Doran.
things here.
Doran,
You asked me about a...
Don't insult my
You're asking me
intelligence.
questions while I'm speaking.
Don't insult my intelligence. Israel is not banning international media
I'm just trying
out
to
of
provide an
concern
answer,
for
Pierce.
our
I don't feel
safety.
like I have an opportunity
You're
to actually
not
answer
banning
you.
us out of concern for our safety. You're banning us because you don't want the international media to witness what you're doing on the ground for reasons that I don't know. But the best way to remove any suspicion about what you're doing is to let the international media in. They will make their own risk assessment. It will be down to their security teams, as it is in any war zone. But the idea that somehow Gaza should be the only war zone in the world where you don't let international journalists go and operate and do their job, and you can do that, Israel, because you basically control all the access to Gaza, I'm afraid is for the birds. You should just let the media in. Then everything you're saying can be verified as true or untrue. And the fact that Israel won't allow it is sticking in my gullet. And when it's pretended to be out of some quaint concern for my personal safety, I'm afraid it's laughable.
Yeah, and
Pierce,
they've killed
we have
more
taken
journalists than all
reporters
other
into
conflicts
Gaza
combined.
hundreds
on
and
Earth.
hundreds and hundreds of times. I myself have taken reporters into Gaza in armored vehicles, let them walk around. Palestinians on Gaza take pictures with their phones every single day. All you have to do is look at Telegram, look at X, look at every single social media channel. If you think that the suffering of Gazans is not displayed, you're wrong. What is not being presented, and this lies at the very source of your question, is why is there so much suffering in Gaza? We have brought 1.8 million tons of food into Gaza. That is a ton of food.
There's been a
2,000
blockade
pounds of
for
food
11
per
weeks.
person in Gaza. Why are there people in Gaza that are hungry right now? Is because all that food that goes into Gaza is taken by UNRWA, all the international agencies that fill their coffers with that food, by Hamas, who steals that food from the Gazan people. And now that Israel actually has
Utter
a plan
propaganda.
to go into Gaza, take over the Gaza Strip, enable very clear distribution points, you should be cheering, Pierce. Everyone in this
I
panel
don't
should be
cheer an
cheering
11-week
that the
blockade of
IDF
food
should
to an
take over
impoverished
Gaza,
people.
That
should
conquest
destroy
and a
Hamas,
genocide,
and should
you're
be able to bring
sick.
the food to the people who need it. But instead, what you are doing, and what Cenk is doing, is you are
You're
perpetuating
starving them,
the
you
rule of
sicko.
Hamas. Did you not see
Trump says
Odeh
they're
Raby? Do you know who that is, Cenk? Cenk, who's Odeh Raby? Do you know Odeh Raby? Did you speak about Odeh Raby, Cenk? I didn't see him on your social media. Odeh
Listen,
Raby
here's what
was
I'm
a
speaking about, how the
22-year-old
fact
who
that
stood
your
up and
government
said,
is starving
Hamas are the
2.2 million
terrorists
people right
in
now.
Gaza.
You're starving
Hamas
the
are the
babies,
ones
you
that
monster.
are torturing the Gazan
Why don't you
people.
stop? You're
and
the
he
terrorist.
and 10,000 people
You're
came
the
to his
terrorist.
funeral
Your
when
governments
his
are
body
terrorists
was dragged
that are
through
trying
the
to kill
streets
2
of
million
Gaza.
people right
His
now.
parents
Stop
received his body
starving
with
babies,
a
you
noose around
terrorists.
his neck and his
You're
underwear.
sick.
And
You're
all of those
deranged.
people, 5
And
were
I-
killed, and
Oh,
dozens
stop with your
and dozens of them have
propaganda.
gone missing.
You know who's the worst
But
terrorist
you
in the
would
world?
decide to keep
Netanyahu.
Hamas in power. And the reason is you've never been on the ground.
This
you
is all-
support
you know why I
David
yell on
Duke.
this program?
You're an
Because
anti-Semite
guys like
at your
this do
core.
nonstop
You care nothing
propaganda,
else about
and they
the
won't
Muslim
stop
world. You
talking.
don't care about
They
women's
talk
rights.
over everyone
You call
else.
blacks
If you're
by
going to
the
talk
N-word.
over everyone
You
else,
support
I'm going to
David
talk
Duke.
over you.
You've never been on the ground,
starved
and
more
all you
people
do is
than
spend every day
anyone else
attacking
in the
Israel.
world. Israel has killed more journalists than anyone else in the world. You're not going to talk over me. You've got these people that are
This is
starving,
coming from
and
the
Hamas
man
did not make
that
that decision.
talks to
Hamas is
David
terrible.
Duke, calls
Israel
blacks
made that
by
decision.
the N-word,
But whenever you start
calls
talking about
Jews
Israel,
by the
guys like
J-word,
this
and
come
doesn't
on
respect
shows
women.
and
Cenk,
never
why should we
stop
believe
talking.
Why don't talk
All
over
they
each
do
other,
is
'cause no one can
nonstop
hear it.
Israeli propaganda, and I'm sick of it.
All right.
Get him to shut up for a second
Okay.
and let other people talk. All they do is Israeli propaganda. It is a fact that they are starving the children of Gaza right now. It is a fact that they have killed over 53,000 people. And he says, 1,200 is terrible. It is terrible what Hamas did on October 7th. But to say that 1,200 people killed
Oh,
and
you don't think
36
it's terrible,
children
Cenk?
killed is
Since
terrible.
the very
But not
day
to
you've
shut
been against
up,
the
but
government
to say that
providing the bombs that Israel needs
53,000
to fight
people
its wars,
killed are
you
not
sit
terrible.
and scream.
That 12,000
You never ever
babies
blame
and
Hamas.
children
Where's Hamas,
killed is
Cenk?
not terrible.
If it was up
Shows
to
what
you,
a
you'd be
monster
leaving the the
terrorist
Gazan
you are.
people
Go ahead,
under the
yap away,
regime
you
of Hamas.
propagandist.
You are the
you
enemy.
Sick,
You are
evil
the enemy
person.
of the Gazan people.
You are the enemy of America. You are the enemy of America, okay? You got us to fight Iraq.
You
want
call
us to fight
yourself
the
a
Iran
young
war.
Turk.
You've taken
You have
$300
labeled
billion.
yourself a young
You
Turk.
starved children
the Turks
to
were
death.
the people who
You are the worst
massacred
terrorist
the
of my
Armenians.
lifetime.
You led 1 million Armenians
I
into the Syrian
recognize the
desert
Armenian
and watched
genocide.
them die.
In fact, the
and
Armenian
you proudly
genocide, you want to
name
get
your
personal?
show
You know, the
Young
Armenian
Turks. You
genocide
should
is
be ashamed of yourself.
exactly what
Yes, you know
Israel
what?
is doing
You're
to the
pro-American.
Palestinians now.
David
Ethnic
Duke is a
cleansing,
pro-American.
driving them,
I
and
get it,
killing
Jake.
them, and
David
murdering
Duke
them.
is the American.
Israel is the
And the
largest terrorist
evangelist.
organization
You call
in the
me
world
cool,
right now.
all right.
Us
All right,
funding
that's
them
enough.
makes
That's
us morally
enough.
culpable.
All right, listen. When you both shout, no one can hear a word.
Cenk Uygur and Piers Morgan, two men who rarely agree on anything, found common grounds, exposing what Doran Spielman tried desperately to dodge: Israel's calculated strategy to ethnically cleanse Gaza under the smokescreen of self-defense. Doran spun his usual propaganda, crying about Hamas tunnels and hostages, yet couldn't answer the most basic question: why is Israel banning international journalists if there's nothing to hide? Why are food convoy trucks being blocked, reporters bombed, and over 50,000 civilians killed that's documented, if the goal is simply targeting Hamas? Because the goal isn't Hamas, it's the land, it's erasure, and Doran let that slip. His double standards were on full display, claiming Israel doesn't target civilians while dismissing entire neighborhoods flattened, children starved, and aid stolen by the very blockade his government upholds. Cenk brought the fire, Piers brought the backbone. Doran brought the blueprint of, well, slow-motion genocide, and tried to wrap it up in humanitarian excuses. But not this time. Not on this channel. Not with the world watching. Now you tell me, how long will we keep falling for this charade? Drop your thoughts below. It's time we choose a side. Truth or twisted loyalty. Catch you later.